Today I'm going to talk about my grandpa Bob, Bob Long, and we're going to talk about... Come over here. We're going to talk about the things from his childhood to now. Okay. What are your favorite hobbies?
What is my favorite hobby? Well, my favorite hobbies are golfing and doing some woodwork. And when I golf, I like to go out to North Kern. I play out there a lot. Sometimes I play at Kern River. Sometimes we drive all the way over to the coast. And we go there and play several places. And it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of good exercise. I have a good time. And I really enjoy it. And my other hobby, woodworking, I haven't really been doing that too much or too long. I don't make anything real big or anything like that, but I like to make little small things, little presents for people, like I did you for Christmas. I made you a little music box and things like that. And as far as anything else, that's mainly my two things that I like to do the best.
Where were you born in?
Well, I was born in a little town back in Ohio. It's called Bainbridge. It's a small town. It's a population of about 3,500 people. It was kind of like growing up with a huge family. Everybody in town knew everybody. We all knew what we were doing and what was going on. And it was a fun time. I remember as a kid, we'd walk down to the creek. We'd all go swimming, and there was always fun things to do. You could walk around. You didn't have to worry about anybody grabbing you or doing anything to you. It was a good time. You didn't have to lock your doors at night. It was just a great time.
So you basically had a pretty easy childhood.
Well, it wasn't an easy childhood, but it was a fun childhood. We didn't have the worries that kids have today. We didn't have all the corruption and the drugs and that type of thing.
What were some of the popular things that you did back? Some of the popular things like music, cars, clothing, just stuff like that. What was some of the popular?
Well, some of the popular songs back in my time, which probably seems like a long time for you, but I think some of my favorite songs was 3 Coins in a Fountain, and I remember when I got out of high school, there was one called Pledging My Love. Now that was, I had a girlfriend, and that was one of my favorite songs then. When I went to service, they played that a lot and made me homesick a lot. I got homesick a lot when I was in the service. And things like that, and other things as far as cars. I had an old 36 Chevy that my brother traded a 12-gauge shotgun for this car. That was my very first car. Top speed on it, I think, was about 40 miles an hour. And I painted it with a paintbrush, so you can imagine what it must have looked like.
Yeah.
But I had fun in it.
What were some of your favorite things to do back then?
Some of my favorite things to do? Well, back then, I presume it was mainly like now, we got bored a lot like you do now. But some of our biggest thrills back in them days was, just going to a movie and buying popcorn and a Coke. I remember, going and I could buy popcorn, Coke, go to the movie on a quarter.
Boy, if we could do that today.
Yeah, now when we go it's $20, huh?
Yeah, probably for the whole family.
No, that's for just 2 people. Just 2 people you can spend that much nowadays. Times have changed.
Did you travel somewhere that you had fun and learn some things?
Well, yeah, you mean as far as out of the country or what?
Just anywhere that you've been.
Somewhere that I've been that I had a good time and I remember the best?
Yeah.
Well, I think the most fun that I had was me and your grandma. We went to Tahiti, and I liked that. We had a good time there, learned a lot about their culture and seen how they lived. and it hasn't changed much over there from 50 years ago. It's pretty much the same.
Did you, is there any other trips?
Well, a lot of trips. I've gone up into Oregon and Washington, back east, and everywhere. There's a lot to see in the United States. You can stay right here in the United States and see a whole lot of things that is really interesting. Washington, D.C. Back there, you go to the Smithsonian Institution, and it's you can spend a week right there just seeing all the stuff that's there. Just the stuff that's happened in this country in the last 50 or 60 years.
What's your impression of youth today?
Well, my impression of youth today, I would say the biggest part of the youth is very good people. But there is a certain amount of them that I'm not sure whether it's because that they have to live by themselves or what. But kids don't have the relationship with their parents anymore like they used to have. They love each other, but they don't have the relationship and the closeness like back when I was a child. And I think that's hurting the kids today.
Back when you were raising kids, do you think it was easier to raise kids back then than it is today?
Well, I wouldn't say that it was easier. I think times were harder. Money was a lot scarcer back in them times. But I think families enjoy each other more because they didn't have, we didn't have TV, we didn't have movies, and it was the biggest thing then. So you only got to do that maybe once a month or maybe twice if you were lucky. So you spent a lot of time together as family, and I enjoyed that. And I would like to see life get back to that type of thing.
Well, I guess this concludes. I guess we're done. There's nothing else to talk about.
Well, I thank you, Mrs. Long, for the interview. And as always, you're still my favorite granddaughter. You have to say little things like that.
Oh, that's a saving moment right there. Which is right here?